Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome once again.
We're delighted you could join us.
Yes, I know everybody has a busy week. We say that every time, but we do have such busy weeks. Everybody does. And unless you're going on vacation this week, it's probably
That sounds lovely.
Probably a busy week. Otherwise, our weeks are crazy.
Yes, they are. But wonderful.
Yes, but wonderful. We find the beauty in each and every day, which was very important to do.
For sure. We just had a rain not too long ago, which was lovely to be able to have a late July rain. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. And so, that freshens everything up.
It does.
And I'm beginning to see the changing of the seasons.
Yes,
it happens very slowly, but surely. Saw the first goldenrod along my lane blooming.
Yes.
The black-eyed Susans are now blooming.
Yes.
And I picked a little bouquet this morning, not very many, just a few, and they'll grace my table or my kitchen island this weekend. As long as they're blooming, I'm going to always have some of the wildflowers in my home.
So pretty.
They are so pretty.
Sweet.
And this is the month when the sunflowers start to bloom and the sunflower patches open up. We actually have field where they go in and people will have their pictures taken there, or they'll just walk along the rows of the sunflowers, and that's kind of sweet. In fact, one of the patches is just 1 mile from us.
Yeah, just about a mile from us, just down the road and across the other way. And it's just, so it's wonderful. If you're coming out to the shop, you can stop and get take your pictures at the sunflower patch. And I believe that you can drop a $1 or something in the box there donation if you want to cut a sunflower, they're just amazing. They're so huge and beautiful.
They are big. And, as they dry, the birds just love this, taking the seeds out of them.
Yeah, and it's a great way to do that, too, to have the sunflower for a little while for our decor and then to put it out for the birds to enjoy. It's a nice way to share.
The gardens are providing food now, and if not there, it's the farmers markets.
Yes.
Yesterday, I got a little antsy for some fall food, I guess you might call it, and I wanted roasted veggies. And so I had some things on hand, and I roasted some veggies in the oven, and I normally don't turn the oven on in the hot days of summer. I absolutely do not like to do that.
Me either.
But I thought if I roast a bunch of veggies, I can eat on them for 3 or 4 days probably, and put different ways. But I had onions and zucchini. And
some of that garden zucchini. I went to the Cotton's Farmers Market. We have a local hardware store that has a farmer's market on Thursday afternoons. And one of our friends, Jolene, Tuesday, she sets up there and she has the most delicious and wonderful and beautiful decorative and deliciously edible gluten-free yummy goodies. And so I'd love to support her work. And then right next to her was a wonderful young gal who had beautiful organic produce. And so we got some of the most delicious tomatoes I think I've ever had, and these beautiful zebra zucchini that were so pretty. So I love supporting farmers market.
So I added, the beets and the potatoes and onions, all that to the mix, and it was delicious, and it tasted really, really good.
You probably put some of our all-purpose seasoning.
I sprinkle that on top every time, and I drizzle a little bit of butter on top, and it's just so good. And then with, of course, a little bit of baked chicken, it was delicious.
Oh yeah,
so that yummy. Was my evening meal, and I still call it supper, whereas a lot of people will call it dinner. It's my 2 meals a day, and the evening is my supper. So it'll always be supper to me because that's how I grew up.
I think that's geographical, isn't it? I mean, what you end up calling it, I always call it dinner, but I guess, and I grew up probably calling it supper, but I don't know where I ever changed. But
generation.
That probably is
start changing things, I believe. So, how many of you call it supper?
Yeah. What do you call your evening meal?
Yes, we'd love to know.
Yeah. So one of the things that we see when the seasons are beginning to turn are the elderberries ripening. And so our elderberries are ripening now. So I'll be going out and collecting those probably today or tomorrow to make some elderberry syrup. And we, of course, love elderberries. They're one of our primary herbs that we enjoy using and enjoy talking about and sharing with other people. So elderberries are actually considered to be, traditionally the medicine chest of country folk. In France, the elderberry bush is actually called the house pharmacy because it can help with so many different things, and the different parts of elder can actually help. But berries are really what people are most familiar with the elderberry plant. And they have a real affinity for lungs and the liver, actually, and the immune system, which is what most people know it as. And if you're gathering your own berries, you want to be careful to gather them away from any fields that have been sprayed. Before we planted our own elderberries out where we live, we would go each May when the elderberries were blooming, the white frothy blossoms, because then you could spot them and find, pick your elderberry bushes so that when, late July, early August came, you could go back and find them again, because you can't really find them when the elderberries on there, they're dark. But you can easily spot them when the flowers are on there. And when you do pick your elderberries, you want to make sure you pick them at a time when you can process them right away, because they'll ferment quickly, or you can.
I like to freeze them.
Yeah.
We're so busy in the summer months when we're doing our gatherings. And so I just clip the heads off short and put them into double bag them and put them into the freezer. Come January, I can actually work with them then. And we'll make the syrup or make the jellies. It works just as well that way.
Yeah, so you can use either fresh elderberries, you can use frozen elderberries, or you can use dried elderberries to make your elderberry syrup. We actually carry an elderberry syrup kit here at the shop that you can make your own elderberry syrup. It's very empowering to make your own medicine. And so we've had a lot of people who come in just for the elderberry kit because they love to use the elderberry syrup that they can make with that kit. And we also do carry syrups that are pre-made locally, actually, which is really nice, elderberry syrup. But, elderberries contain a glycoside that converts into cyanide in the human body. And it's not the only plant that has that. Many plants actually have that. But you want to make sure that you're cooking the elderberries to inactivate those glycosides. And I'm actually going to link below. If you're making elderberry syrup, I have a great video on how to make the very best elderberry syrup and what to put in it to make it super, super active. And that's a video that's available to everyone. And I will post a link below. So if you're interested in looking at that and learning how to do that, there's also I think a recipe available along with that video link. So it's great if you're feeling run down. Elderberry syrup and Mom makes the best elderberry jelly, which is delicious. Such a treat. But if you're feeling run down, or if you have seasonal allergies or any respiratory ailments, it really does help to stimulate the immune system. And actually in clinical trials, it's been shown to be very effective against the flu virus. And what they found with these flu trials is that it helps people to recover more quickly from the flu, and it also helps people to develop higher levels of antibodies against the actual virus. It's really an amazing, wonderful plant. But more than that, it's actually a magical plant. And some of you may remember that the wand that Harry Potter used to defeat Voldemort in the J.K. Rowling series was made of elder, because elder is powerful magic. It actually has a cross-cultural reputation for protecting against evil spirits and ill intent. And Celtic lore says that the spirit of the forest dwells in the hollow wood of the elder tree. And in many cultures, there's considered to be a goddess, or the elder mother, which is also associated with the fae or fairy, dwells within the tree. And so you have to be very respectful when you're gathering your medicine. And I just love that. I love the fact that that's cross-cultural to across cultures. That's really a deep belief. So I love the elder plant. We love the elder plant. It's one of the first things we plant anytime that we move.
Both of us plant that right away, and so that it's close to the house. And also we can see it out the window, and we keep an eye on it and talk to it when we go by. And it's just a wonderful plant to have. I start taking it on October 1st, and I go clear through April 1st, and I'll take a tablespoon every morning and put a little bit of water. As I've said before, I do it in the water because I need the hydration right away in the morning anyway. And I feel it helps my immune system tremendously, and I just can't hardly be without it. You can just feel it as it goes down. You want to visualize the healing that it will do.
For sure. That intention is really part of taking herbal medicine, or herbs for medicine, or as for healing agents. That intention of when you plant, when you gather, and when you ingest is so important. That's really part of the healing process, and part of what helps to activate that healing process.
Intention and gratitude.
For sure. And reciprocity.
Yes. One of the things I noticed as I came up to the shop this morning through the edge of the woods and to the meadow, that there close to elder is pokeberry.
Always.
Right? And pokeberry is something to be watchful for. Many people will identify that as elder, and I'm amazed how many people will identify it as elderberry. They must do more research on it because poke is very potent.
Poke is so incredibly powerful, and
Yes.
we don't recommend trying to use it unless you have really educated yourself about it. And so, yeah, and they do always grow together.
They do.
They're really kind of companions.
Just must be very aware of it now. The poke will grow downwards into like a grape. It'll look like a grape cluster almost, whereas elder will be that umbel again.
Yeah, the flathead.
It's a flathead.
Yeah. So, I'll put a link to another video below too where I show you the difference of, the two. Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
Because it's important to know.
That's a very good teaching tool, and learn it now where you can actually go out and identify that. Now,
yes, for sure.
It's a beautiful plant.
And both of them are so beautiful.
They are.
Yeah.
So another item we have in the shop right now.
Yeah, something new that we're actually carrying because it was something that I've been we've been excited about for a while, but we just didn't have a really good source to carry in the shop, and now we've found a good source, and that is castor oil. And some of you may be familiar with castor oil. I know some of you maybe grow the beautiful castor bean plant, and the castor bean plant is actually extremely poisonous. But the oil that's carefully extracted is not. Some people do take it internally. We do not recommend it being taken internally. It's really not good for you taken internally. But it's wonderful used externally in castor oil packs. And castor oil packs have been used for their health benefits for thousands of years. Castor oil contains a fatty acid that has anti-inflammatory properties and a molecular structure that allows its healing benefits to penetrate deep into the dermis. And when it penetrates deep into the body, it's wonderful for relieving any kind of congestion of the lymph, the liver, the pelvic area, the bowels. It's absorbed via the skin, and when it's absorbed, it stimulates that lymph flow throughout the body. And so wastes are eliminated more effectively and efficiently, and organ function is actually improved, and it can help constipation when it's applied to the abdomen. It can stimulate bowel movement. It can help reduce inflammation in joints and tissues. I know, Mom, when you had your surgery, you had kind of a lump that wasn't resolving, and I said, let's put a castor oil pack on it. And
in 2 days, it's gone.
It was, it really helps. So any kind of issue like that, it's just amazing. And so one of the things about doing castor oil packs, the way that we always used to do them was, a sheet of flannel or linen or wool, and then you put your castor oil on and you put saran wrap over it, and then you find something to hold it on you. And it was really kind of a pain in the patookers. But now I found this wonderful castor oil gal who has this company, and she has these wonderful pre-made castor oil packs that has everything. It has the elastic bands. It has the 100% organic cotton that goes next to your skin, super soft. Oh, feels so good on. And then it has a lining on the exterior so that the oil won't leak through, and you can just put it right around and tie it on. It's amazing and handy. And anytime you're using castor oil, something I want to make sure I mention is that because of its amazing penetrating properties, and also because it's an oil, and oil is a carrier, so it will extract things, you want to make sure that you're only buying organic castor oil in a glass bottle. I never buy, I think we've talked about this before, we never buy any kind of fat item, any oils or peanut butters or nut butters or things like that in a plastic container, because one of the things that degrades plastic is fats. And so not only are you getting whatever you're going to be maybe ingesting or using, but you're also getting plastic particles because it's degrading that plastic, and that plastic is infusing in whatever oil or fat you have in it. So that's one of the reasons why I was so excited to find these that we're carrying in the shop now, organic castor oil in glass bottles. So we love it, and we it's definitely part of our first aid kit that we keep in the cabinet.
And those are washable packs.
They are washable packs. Yeah, and there's complete instructions. I actually have a two-sided little handout. Those of you who visited the shop know that we have all kinds of about handouts. And these are little handouts that we've done up about things that we get asked about frequently, like healing teas and decoctions and
Yes.
tinctures and all different kinds of things. And so the verbal instructions that we give, people can't remember everything. So we like to have things written down. And so there's handy little about castor oil sheets that we have available next to the castor oil packs and castor oil so that people can remember what the benefits are and how to use them.
Answers many questions.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're always excited to try carrying things that we love and that we use. I always tell people when they come in the shop, Mom's had shops for as long as I can remember. I was an English teacher, and I always thought it'd be really fun to have, do something like this with my mom. And so it's so wonderful to do this together. And one of the things that I have come to appreciate is that having a shop is a way to gather together the things that you love and that you want to share with people and share them with others. And so that's really what we do here. And education is a big part of that too.
Community outreach.
Yes.
As much as possible. Sure. Yes. I'd like to remind everyone that this is August 1st. So it is time to be reading
your August chapter.
And I have to tell you, the August chapter is the shortest one in the whole book. I think we kind of want to hurry through August. Everyone does. And, we've had a taste of summer, and it's been 3-digit temperatures.
So wonderful, though.
But it's been wonderful, and we are ready to go into the next season that comes on. So we kind of hurry August along. Yet we should not. There's too many good things that happen in August also. And we just need to sit in that rocking chair on the front porch and have a little rocking chair therapy and listen to the crickets and all the other sounds that are out there.
Enjoy that end of summer, the lazy days of August. And
the
really
dog
appreciate
days.
it. The dog days,
right? We're getting into the dog days now.
Try to make time for some lazy days.
And the other thing I might mention, I showed this a couple of weeks ago, and it's just a little notebook that says notes and quotes on the front of it, and it's all blank inside, but the cover is made from old fabric and some wool. We had several people that really wanted to purchase that, and I am in the process of making a few of these to bring into the shop this weekend and probably throughout the month of August as much as I possibly can. So anyway, so they'll be available if anyone's interested. It's a cover that can be taken off and used again and again with another notebook inside.
Yeah, the composition notebooks is what you put inside of those.
Yes, it's just a plain notebook, but you can write down thoughts. And one of our stitching gals, Sherry, had a wonderful journal that she keeps, and she does it on a daily basis, and it's something I'm going to do next year because I want to add a little bit more than just a few words to it. And that would be doodling. It might be adding a quote to the day, maybe a favorite recipe tried, just thoughts and feelings. You can add whatever you want, but it makes it a little more special, I think.
That's
maybe
nice.
Putting a sticker on the page if you want to, or a comment about a note from a grandchild, whatever. It just is a good thing. So the first of the year, several of us are probably going to start those notebooks too.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Kind
I think
of a journal.
Journaling is a great way to just be mindful of your life.
Absolutely.
And what you're experiencing in your life. I love that idea.
And all these days in August, too.
Yes, for sure.
So we hope you all get out and enjoy the days of August, whether it's hot or not, and find some beauty in each and every day.
Yes. Have a beautiful week. Good earth blessings to you.
We'll see you next time.